My name is Nakia Shade. I am a nationally award-winning author, a published author artist, and an indie author artist, and creator of Nakia Shade's Masala dramas, and the creator of Song of Wata, which is a Masala fiction, folktale, revenge, uh, audiobook drama on YouTube. And I'm going to talk today about why now is the time to create dramas and some of my struggles with that and accomplishments of that and the type of people that I want to watch these dramas and the type of people that I'm writing for with these dramas. Um, so let's get into it. I'll share with you the type of women that I'm writing for and who I'm thinking is my in my audience every time I upload a video and who I'm thinking about. And yeah, okay. But first, let's talk about that giveaway. Giveaway time. I thought I changed the lighting up a bit, but I did not. I did not. It's still a bit too bright. Hold on. Let's see here. That's that's a little better, I guess. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, great. We're just kind of using the background. So, if you don't know, oh, and I'll put the scroll. I'll put that little banner on. Great. Also, let me change the color a little bit. I'm feeling a little like a panda today. Feeling like a panda today. Panda. Okay, great. So this is I'm having a giveaway, and it ends on January 17th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Basically, you can enter to win one of these 4 greeting cards by following me on all my socials, which I have linked in the scroll, and joining tier 2 of my school community. If you don't know what school is, it's like a community that people that want to teach people things can go join and build a community around. And so that is a space that you can join where I can send you stuff like these greeting cards. I have a tier 2, which is a paid tier where I can send you a monthly greeting card. And I have a free tier where you can listen or not listen. You can listen to the drama for free, but you can also get a monthly coloring page as well. And so these are cards from my drama. These are from my drama, Song of Wata. The redhead is Niambe and the bluehead is Sela. They're both sisters. And Song of Wata is about these 2 sisters on their revenge. And they live in Carrie Cascadia, which is like my fictional version of the Pacific Northwest. So they're Mami Wata, which are like beings that are somewhat like mermaids. They turn into snakes as well. They're pretty ladies. They use music and history and story and dream and memory to create song and to deal with different issues that they experience. And Sela becomes a pirate and Nyamba becomes a griot, and it's about their revenge on the people that did them dirty. These come with an envelope as well. Don't laugh at me because this is a little harder than it looks with the thing here. This is Nyambe's lunar ritual. This is all collage. With all paper collage, traditional medium, and I make prints out of these. This is another character. The songbird sings. She's a character that'll be there in the act 2 of the drama. And this is Sela and Nyambe at a more tender moment in the story. Yeah. And so these are all going to be signed cards as well. So you can get these signed from me. I'll sign them. What they look like on the inside. This is like a sample card. It looks like this on the inside. It's completely blank. so it's completely blank on the inside. On the front, you have the art, and then on the back, you have a little snippet of the story, and then it will be signed, as you can see on the lower side of the card. And yeah, I want to talk a little bit about today's topics, just like why now it's time to create dramas, and who am I writing for? Like when I upload these dramas, since I started like 5 or 6 months ago with Song of Wata, and we're already with Act One. Who am I writing for? Who is the story supposed to be for? And what are we gonna do about that in 2026 to get more of you ladies in here watching the story? Well, I guess first things first is like I'm writing for women that are misfits, and misfits isn't necessarily a negative thing. I think of myself as a misfit. I think of myself as a woman that fits in different boxes, or I don't really like putting myself in a box, but if I had to think about how people will look at me, now I look at myself, how I look at me, I fit into a lot of different spaces. So that's one part of being a misfit. Another part of being a misfit is I decide what I want to do with my life. I made my own purpose, creating dramas, being an artist, being an author, being a business owner, creating content, creating content for other brands, for corporate brands, for state, local, federal brands, like organizations, things like I made my own purpose. And with a misfit is a woman that makes her own purpose. She doesn't wait to find it. She's not finding herself. She learns and then she does better and she tries harder and she puts in the work. She's not waiting to be saved by family or friends or society or love interest or the weather or a sign or her religion. She decides that she wants to do things in a different way, and she does so, and she knows that she deserves to win. She knows that she deserves to have a good life, a peaceful life, a soft life, and every woman's soft life is different to other women. So um there's no like definition specifically of like, oh, this is a soft life. It's like, no, it's whatever you want it to be. And to me, that was important to emphasize what type of stories that I write, and that I get all types of women that are the protagonists and other types of characters. And I want you to understand that living a soft life is you're not perfect, and nobody's perfect, but you make do what you have, and you can create a life out of that by learning how to deal with the challenges and the struggles. The other type of women that I write for are women that maybe are neurodivergent, maybe have dealt with issues in the past, challenges, rejection, objections, have dealt with stigmatized things or encounters with people like family or people that are close to them, and it made them feel like, maybe you weren't enough, or maybe you didn't understand how to deal with rejection. But instead of wallowing in it, which happens, you get help that you need from like a therapist or a social worker or somebody, whatever kind of help you need, and then you come back and you're like, okay, I am ready to look at stories, read stories, listen to stories, consume stories that have characters like me that went through some dark stuff, but like now these women are on the path to like, revenge. And revenge for me is taking all that energy that you would have put into other people out of anger or hate, putting into yourself so that you can become the best version of yourself. And that one that I write towards, I've gone through some shit that most people won't believe, but because they got the help that they needed through therapy, social work, medication, whatever that they needed, they are here to uh, focus on themselves, to level up themselves, and then by leveling up themselves, they're inspirational to other women. So they're not. This is not for women that are bleeding hearts. This is not for women that are trying to be saints. This is not for women, even though that is something that'll come eventually. This is not for women who want to be seen as perfect or good or kind or nice. This are women who don't give a shit about how other people see them, but they're confident and secure in themselves. It doesn't mean they've not gone through things in their life, they have, but they understand how to use storytelling to tell themselves a better story about themselves and give themselves a better opportunity in the world, because they look at themselves as valuable and as worthy and as deserving of a good life and deserving of support and help and deserving of fiction that sees them, doesn't save them but sees them. Some of their dreams are that they can be independent and they can function in the world and that they can get everything they want and that they can make the right sacrifices to get that, whether that's whatever that is for you. Those are the type of women that understand the kind of storytelling they're making, that that the characters in the story are making sacrifices, and that the women that are reading understand the sacrifice that they had to make. Um, they dream of having their own income, whether that's through businesses or through being a content creator or through an influencer or having a really good full-time or part-time job and also doing other stuff on the side. It's also women that are very intelligent and smart, and they're beautiful women on the inside and the outside. And beauty isn't just physical, it's your etiquette, it's your manners, it's your self-talk, it's your how you prioritize your energy. It's how the actions that you take. It's the sacrifice that you're willing to make. It's the way that you show up in your community. It's the way you show up for yourself. It's the way you show up in your people that you care about. So these are the women that want to be the main characters of their lives, and so by doing so, they prioritize themselves first. That's what being main character is all about. It's all about you. It's all about prioritizing yourself, your needs, your desires, your wants. It's not, and I'm not saying that you're not a good mom or you're not a good sister or you're not a good wife or a good you're not a good girlfriend, whatever. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you make choices that benefit yourself, that benefits your future, that benefits your kids, that benefits your future generations. That's the kind of women I'm talking about. And they look good doing it. You know, the women that I write for love to have their own personal styles, and that might evolve with time. You know, maybe you dress up all cute and preppy one day, and then you dress up goth another couple days. It's all about using clothes and fashion to express yourself and to push yourself up, so that you are always have this like armor on you, not to protect yourself, but to show the world that you're valuable, that you're like, you know, like a pretty crown or like a peacock or something that people can admire, but you've done a lot of prepping and making sure you feel good and look good so that you can go out into the world and conquer, and not even just conquer. I'm not saying hustle. I mean, just like you know who you are, and it took you a while to get there, so you know who you are, and you're not going to apologize for it. And conquering doesn't necessarily mean others; it means yourself. When I say conquering, you go out there and conquer. I mean, you conquer your self doubts, you conquer your low self worth, you conquer your neediness, you conquer your desire to be liked, you conquer your desire to feel like you have to belong somewhere, you conquer your desire to feel like you have to have somebody in your face all the time, you conquer your desire to feel like you have to be around people all the time, you conquer your low self esteem, you conquer your, you know, maybe you don't clean your room all the time, maybe you don't clean your car all the time, maybe you got some takeout containers sitting in your room somewhere and you need to go throw those things out in the trash. Or you you're conquering your fear of being seen online by posting more user generated content for other brands in your community, or you're deciding that you are going to apply for that job that pays you, you know, $30 more an hour because you deserve the $30 more an hour so you can like live your life and travel with the girls and buy the perfume that you want to buy, or buy the pretty dress that you want to buy, or the heels, or buy that membership to that guild that you want to be a part of, or cosplay, or game, or take your kids on that trip that you want to take your kids on, or finally try Pilates, or finally try Tai Chi, or finally try pickleball, or whatever, or go on a cruise finally. Like, those are what I'm talking to. The ones that are like, you know what? The only person that's gonna invest in me is me. The only person that's gonna increase my self worth is me. And so that's the type of woman I'm writing for. I'm also writing for the women that don't mind looking like a bitch. Like, again, I'm a lady, but I like swear sometimes. And I like to use specific language because it resonates with you in your brain. When I see certain words, you're going to be like, oh, okay. Being a bitch does not mean that you are nasty, that you don't have etiquette, that you're not classy, that you don't have a certain way of looking, or that you're trashy, or that you're ratchet, that you don't present yourself in a way that you can work a room and, deal with different types of people. Being a bitch means that you have zero tolerance for your own um, excuses and others' excuses towards you. That doesn't mean that you're not perfect, but you don't talk yourself out of things. And if you find yourself talking yourself out of stuff, then you're like, okay, let's think about this logically, not emotionally, but logically. How we can solve this problem, why we deserve help, why we deserve to win, and why we deserve to have this cool experience that we can make, you know, memories from and share with other people, whether that's online, whether that's in person, whether that's in a memory book, whether that's in our journal, whether that's in our day planner, whatever. That's about. And the type of women that I write for are feminine, but they're also women that look different. Um, you might not look like me. You might look like completely different from me, but you know that you deserve more. You deserve better. You know that being feminine for you is looking good, taking care of yourself, investing in yourself. Being feminine is not 50-50. It's, whether you have a wife or a girlfriend or a husband or a boyfriend or fiance, you're the one that's being taken care of and being spoiled. And you're the one that you have a job if you want to work. You don't have a job if you don't want to work. If you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're a stay-at-home wife, if you're a stay-at-home girlfriend, you know how to be feminine. You also know how to work, get a business done, put in the work, do good at your job, and you have smarts, not only in like business or your education, but you also have smarts in how you are in relationships that benefit you. And for women that have already gotten all the healing done and all the support that they need, you understand exactly what I'm talking about when I say you only enter in your relationships, professional, personal, and otherwise, that are beneficial to you. So that's the type of woman that I'm writing for. And the type of stories, or that I tell my stories, these women are like, wow, you captured how I felt, exactly how I felt it. Or wow, you captured exactly the way that I was experiencing that. And like, you didn't, this isn't like trauma porn. This isn't sensationalized. This isn't overly dramatic. It's not melodrama. It's exactly how I felt. Whether you're in your low points, or in your high points, or you're on that journey of leveling up and learning how to chill, and the way that I capture that by romanticizing your own day-to-day life, that's that kind of stuff. Those are the women that I'm writing for. And some of your fears are maybe that, am I too much? Am I not enough? Do I belong in this location that I'm in? How do I get out of this place that I'm in? How do I get a better job? How do I get around better people that are beneficial to me? How do I prioritize what I want to do? Maybe you're at that phase of leveling up where you don't have a lot of extra income. You're on a super budget. How do I how do I prioritize myself if I don't have enough money? And so those are some of your fears. Or you're like, is it too late for me to like want more for myself? Is it too late for me to choose myself when everyone in my circle knows me as being a people pleaser or a pushover? Again, the women I'm writing for are on that journey of leveling up. And so you still may have some of those aspects of people pleasing, or being a doormat in other areas, maybe in your personal life, maybe with your relationship with your kids, or relationship with your siblings, or with your family, or maybe in your job, but you're like, main character energy everywhere else. So this is for the women that are on that journey of main character energy and they know who they are, but there's still some aspects that are still kind of like they need to be explored. Um, and yeah, the type of women that I write for, these women are independent. These women are, they have degrees, they have um, the certificates. Maybe they want to start businesses because they're tired of all of this, like different things happening in their environments, and they just want to spend time at home. They want to just work in their own studios, or they want to work in their own houses and have a house studio in the basement, have a garage or an accessory dwelling unit. Like they had nothing to prove to anyone, and these are the women that have decided to invest in themselves because now they know what they want. They want to not have to work two jobs and, be pregnant and clock in, and no, they're not even in that space. They're the soft life girls, make their own soft lives, what it looks like to them. But they know that they're provided for, that they made the right decisions, the type of people that they chose to, you know, commit themselves to. These women understand that. So now they're like, okay, I did all that. So now, but I may have some people pleasing tendencies in other areas. And so even if I write and have characters, excuse me, even if I write and have women that are like Niambe and Song of Wata. In the beginning, she's very much a people pleaser, but she learned these aspects of these characters show up in different ways because you may be winning in some areas, but you're not in other areas. And also, there's still women that don't know how to chill out. That's why I spend a lot of time on the art so that you can sit there and be amazed by the art. Maybe you're a super intelligent woman and you just need to chill. That art that I create is for that purpose, so that you can just lose yourself and calm down and appreciate the moment you're in and the lifestyle you have based on, just enjoying yourself. Okay. Um, and yeah, I like to think of the women that wasn't in my audiobook dramas as like women that are on the way to work, on the bus, um, heading to a cafe. Maybe you are working from home, and so you're just in your home studio listening to Act One of Song of Wata, and maybe you're with your kids and you just want to listen to something different than the audiobooks because you listen to all your audiobooks and yeah, you want something different. Type of women that maybe you went shopping and now you just want to chill with your girlfriends and grab some coloring pages from my school community and color them in. All these types of fun types of ways that the women that even that are on the bus or the women that are on the car or on the train, because you might live in another country and you don't need a car. You actually take the bus or the train to get around where you need to go because your transportation system is amazing. And unlike in America, where transportation is not that great, you might live in a European country or Asian country and you have great transportation. And you're going to the job that you really love and you're enjoying that job and you want to listen to some drama. So you put on my audio drama, you go to my dramas, and or maybe you just had a fun date and now you just want to unwind and have some you time. So listen to a drama and get lost in the chaos. So you live a peaceful life, a leveled up life. But you enjoy dramas because it reminds you of where you were before in the past and how far you've come, or tells you where the areas that you still need to work on in your life. And it kind of gives you an idea of like, okay, how to think about things, a mindset. The situations that my characters are in is about mindset. So while I have, Mami Wata sisters on a revenge journey, their mindset is the thing that I think you might like. Not necessarily what they're doing, but like how they're solving problems. Okay. And yeah, I mentioned that you ladies look fabulous, look amazing in your outfits. So that is something that I mentioned. And you have a woman that may you definitely have traveled. So you're definitely like well versed in travel, going to different places, cruises, flights, whatever, paid by yourself, paid by your significant other, your husband, your spouse, your wife, whatever. You understand travel, you understand cultures, you appreciate cultures, so you're looking for something fresh, something different, something that's fun, that makes you curious and want to explore the world. So that's where I come in because I can create um, characters and cities and fictional worlds that mirror real life stuff. So that's the fun thing. Okay. I'll see if I can get my coloring stuff set up. But if for some reason I don't today, because I don't want to be on here for too long, and I did want to talk about this one. Great. Okay. Okay. So again, Song of Wata is my Masala fiction audiobook drama on YouTube, and it's about two sisters, Niambe and Sela. Niambe is a griot, Sela is a pirate. They're both betrayed by the human side of their family, and they take revenge. And it's their revenge journey and how they decide to deal with the humans that betrayed them and the kind of life that they're going to live based off of their revenge. And it takes place in Cowrie, Cascadia, which is a fictional Oregon, Washington, Pacific Northwest space that is influenced by African, West African. I have Cameroonian and Nigerian heritage on my mom's side, and French, um, and Native American on my mom's side, and my father's side, and I have South Asian, Indian. So it's a kind of combination of those and the architecture of Oregon, which is like Italian, Nouveau, and like European style. And so it's this interesting adventure. And I'm finished Act One, so we're gonna get Act Two. I'm gonna make like a little slate card that like promotes Act One, and then I'll make one for Act Two when the time comes. There's no updates this week for Act Two. I'm probably gonna take like a couple weeks off just to like decompress and then come back. This hold on. Yeah, and this one, just to let y'all know that if you are in Portland, Oregon, Bold Coffee and Books carries my greeting cards. So you can grab the greeting cards there. They're a wonderful place. They're based in Goose Hollow, Portland, Oregon, and wonderful people. They're super nice, super kind, and that is where you can purchase my greeting card. So if you ever come to Portland, Oregon, go to Gold Coffee and Books, and they will have my greeting cards there for you to purchase, along with some delicious coffee and pastries, and just a lot of wonderful local authors. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait, I wanted to share this. Okay, so this is me. I wanted to share something about. I did a reflection on last stream. I wanted to share this cool little image of me. I wanted to do this my whole life. I wanted to be a bell ringer for a Salvation Army my whole life, so I finally got to do it last month, and it was amazing. I loved every second of it. I got all dressed up. I looked like a candy cane. I loved it. So just to let you know like me, like the type of woman I'm riding towards, the type of woman I am. Like that was something I was like, okay, am I gonna do it? Well, okay, if I'm gonna do it, then I have to be prepared. Okay, if I'm not prepared, then what am I gonna do? I was like, you know what? Just look cute, show up, look cute, and then do a good job. And I killed it. I crushed it. I did a good job. So just let you know, dream come true. It took me a long time to get to this point, but yes, you know, I can do something that I wanted to do my whole life that you can too. And ringing the bell for Salvation Army with Beavers and Rotary was one of those things. And that's the other thing that when I write towards or your fears, you don't care what other people think. I joined Rotary, and if you guys understand what Rotary is, it's as the president has told me of my Rotary location, it's like um, community service on steroids. And the median age of Rotary is like 65, and I'm 32. So you imagine the head that are like, huh? Like, why are you here? What? And I was like, I'm here to learn. I'm here to get knowledge. I'm here to meet people that are beneficial to me, that I can be beneficial to in my community, and that I can socialize and have fun. Like that's what I'm here for. Like like I want to have fun. And so like you have to get over that kind of stuff. And it took me. I already knew what I wanted, so I didn't take a lot of effort to get over it. But just like with the thing, I was overthinking this. Like, well, what am I gonna wear? Like on my shoes, the little details. We get caught in the little details, but then we talk ourselves out of that and realize, okay, we are good enough as we are. If we need help, we'll get help. If we deserve to win and we deserve to have a great life that's peaceful and soft and as however we want to make it. We're like the alchemists of our own lives. So yeah, I did that and it was a lot of fun. So the topic is now is the time to create dramas. We're living in a world where everyone's on social media, where people want a distraction, where people want comfort, where people want to be understood, where people want to be seen, where people want to be seen inside, not necessarily outside, but inside. And now is the perfect time to create dramas because we have the attention of people. We have eyes on screens. We have people hooked up to their phones 24/7. We have access to AI. There are so many things that we can do to create dramas that are entertaining, that tell story about survival, that tell people how to like have their own self-worth, tell people how to think things through, to how to solve a basic problem that are fun, that are fresh, that take concepts and make them campy, but then flip the script, and stuff that introduces new concepts in a Masala kind of way, like with Nakia Shade's Masala fiction dramas. That's what I do, and I write for women that want the escape, but they want to learn to walk away with something once they've got through that. That's why I write, and that's why even though the age range of my dramas of my audience is very interesting, actually. Let me look up the stats on it. Hmm. My age range is 25 to 34 apparently, and all female. So that's pretty good. Yeah, 18 to 24, 25 to 34. I have some that are 35 to 44, and I have some from just 13 to 17, and mostly all female, with 20% male. 21% male. Yeah. So like that's pretty good, I would say. And so like now is the time to create dramas. People want to be entertained. They want a distraction from what's happening in the world. But people don't want to be preached at. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to be told how to think. Like, we have free will, right? So, like, you can't create a drama that tells somebody how to act and how to think. That's not writing. That's an essay, and that's you, like, trying to get your worldview and your points onto somebody else. Nobody wants that. You could do it in a way where it's entertaining, but still, if nobody agrees with your viewpoint, then nobody's gonna accept it anyway. So the way that I would write, if I were you and I was starting out to create dramas in 2026, I would create a very general um, stories. I would create general stories that have a specificity to the character, the location, and to how the problem is solved that fits the character archetype that you're creating. I'd also create a new character archetype based off of fragments of um, one or two archetypes that you resonate with, or that your target audience resonates with, and that adds your specificity to create a new flavor, so to speak, a new twist. Because nobody wants to see the same thing, and people can tell. Like, I go online and I go on Instagram, and I'm on Instagram all the time, and I see people create characters, but they're so generic and so basic and so like boring that people get upset. Like, these artists get upset. Like, why isn't anybody looking at my stuff? Why is anybody interacting with, as a black artist, we don't get enough attention. It's like, girl, nobody wants to hear that. Okay. Like, you just don't have good execution. Like, your execution is weak. You need to practice better design, better marketing, better audience. Like, who are you actually targeting? Like, if you want to make controversial stuff, you gotta own it. You gotta own the controversy. If you're gonna make safe vanilla stuff that's generic and everybody else knows about, that's totally fine. You still have to add your specificity to it in order to make it stand out. And that comes with watching tons of dramas so you can understand why they work. And so dramas can be visual novels, they can be like soap operas, telenovas, K dramas, Chinese dramas, Pakistani dramas, it could be limited series, it could be like a choose your own adventure book, it could be a novella, it could be a manhwa, it could be a manga, it could be an anime, it could be serialized audio dramas, it could be a standalone drama. It can be a play, it can be a film, or it can be a poem, or a griot type of song, like a ghazal or something like that, or a comedy show, whatever. All those things matter. You need to understand how to use the medium. You need to understand why it works. You need to understand why people gravitate towards an audio drama versus a video game, and what they're looking for. Even if they're not going to tell you what they're looking for, you need to understand how to deliver that. That's called delivering on the expectation of the audience, the genre expectations, but then also the medium expectations. So those are very important things. And most people are like, oh, I don't want to copy. You copying somebody else is like gonna happen at some point. But if you know what your specificity is and what you want to write about, copying somebody is probably not going to be your biggest concern. What you're going to do is probably copy the execution, not necessarily the components, but the execution. So if it's like what I do, maybe you like how I put the music in the beginning, or how I layer um, the midpoint in the beginning, and then I take you through the whole thing, and then I get back to the midpoint. Steal that. I don't care. Whatever. But if you're trying to steal, like, exactly how I have my characters written, exactly how the plot goes, exactly how the characters talk, that's not good. You can study those things. And I used to study Megabot and Agatha Christie novels, and when I was writing fanfics. And that's how I got good at writing. And that's how I became an America's Next Great Author. So I finally I became a Dark Horse Comics author and artist, because I started out with fanfics. So there are people that make fan audio dramas like Star Trek and whatever. Do that. Who cares? The point is, make stuff because people need a distraction. People also need solutions to their problems, and they're looking for that in fantasy, in fiction, in stuff that isn't real, because they want to figure out how to solve real problems in the real world through fiction that people like. or guys like video games. So girl gamers do this because they want solutions to our problems in real life through fantasy and fiction and through play and through games. There's nothing wrong with that. There is a fine balance between the two when it becomes a dependency versus a what is it, like a thing that can help you, like a little boost. So just understanding that if you're going to talk about stuff that's like dark, then you need to put like a disclaimer. You don't look at help because you're not the help. You're just there to tell a story through your own specificity. So that's what I try to do with my dramas when I need to. I'm like, listen, get the help that you need. Uh, this is not the place for that. I'm gonna take responsibility for your mental health. I'm just here to make cool stuff and get paid. So, um, and another thing to write dramas, it's easy. You can use AI voices. You could use AI images. You could use AI prompts. You can do whatever you want. Like, do it. Like, it's easy. If you play your strengths, if you don't know how to write, hire somebody. Find old books, old IPs that are out of in the public domain, and just write something from public domain. That's probably better than AI because it's already completed. So all you gotta do is write from public domain. Easy. That's the hack of the century right there. Write from the public domain. Your own dramas. Put your own specificity, your own twist on something that already exists and make your own thing. People do it all the time with like Alice in Wonderland, with Beauty and the Beast, with Cinderella, with The Little Mermaid. You could water down what I do to like The Little Mermaid meets who's the blind girl meets like Arcane, I guess. If you really want to boil it down to that, it's kind of like what it is. If you don't know how to draw, get some asset packs. People make a living creating asset packs of characters, everything like that. Use art programs like Clip Studio Paint or Procreate or other stuff like that. If you're totally against AI, that's your problem because AI is helpful as a tool and it's helpful for learning and for completing menial tasks that a lot of neurodivergent people don't want to complete because it's stressful. It's great for editing audio. I love using it for editing audio. I love using it to kind of be like my buddy and help me understand how to create better thumbnails. It helps you analyze things like graphic designer buddy. If you're like, hey, I think that my text is too small and I want to fix it, and it can tell you how to do that. It's great. Use it how you want to. People back in the day thought laptops and computers were stupid, but here we are now. So, haha, you gotta play your strengths. And if you suck, people will tell you. You know what I mean? Like if you're that worried about using AI and being like caught and found out, like, oh, you actually suck. You already sucked. You're just trying to get by with AI. Like at some point, you have to like, you know, have some level of craftsmanship and execution that AI really won't get you there. But that's why you have to learn how to use the tools that you have, increase your skill and your knowledge. It's like sales. You really can't use AI very much with sales. You can use it for scripts, I guess. You can use it for scripts. You can use it for outreach. When it comes time to actually closing a deal, like getting a contract signed, you can't you can't really do much. You have to talk to the person. So people think that AI is like this amazing thing that's going to do all these things. I think people that think that way, that are afraid, are just like everybody else that thought keyboards and typewriters were like the devil. But here we are now. Like change is the only constant. Like get with it or be stuck. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I think that you have to figure out how you want to use it to your advantage and to make it beneficial to you. It benefits me and what I do. I'm still an artist, I'm still a writer. It helps me with so many administrative things and so many things I don't want to do. Outreach, scripts, emails, scheduling, all this stuff that I don't want to do because I have other things that I could do. So time is very valuable and I have other work that need to get done. And I think people that are never going to put in the work that you put in will never get the results that they're looking for anyway, because the AI will not enhance your weaknesses. It'll amplify your weaknesses, but it'll give you a strength. It'll amplify your weaknesses. So For instance, like, I don't know how to edit audio for shit. I tried to edit audio in the first couple of episodes of Song of Wata Act 1. You can tell it's trash. And then I found this AI cleaning thingy and it cleans it, and then I'm good to go. You know what I mean? Like, AI only amplifies your weaknesses. Like, you can hire somebody out, figure it out, or use AI. Those are your options. Or use asset packs or something like that to get the job done. But there's no excuses for why you can't create a drama. And it started slow. I started uploading once a week, and then it got like twice a week, or every 2 weeks, and then every 3 weeks. But I got all this Act One done in like 5 months. Oh yeah, could I have gotten it done faster? Probably not, because I was doing different things. But now that I got an entire act done in the first year, it's pretty good for me. It's pretty good for me, and the quality got better because I wanted to make the thumbnails better. I wanted to make the audio stronger. I wanted to add VFX, SFX, and I wanted it to have a certain polish to it that was only going to happen over time. Even though I knew what I wanted it to be, it still only got better. So be okay with stuff sucking, it taking longer, and you having to put in more work, because AI can only do so much for you if you don't want to put in the work. That's it. It's that bridge. It's that gap. It's the thing that helps you. Um, but it's not going to solve your problems. And so, yeah. And the other thing is, to make a good drama, live your life. Uh, Live that soft life. Go go work. Get your money up. Save your money. Go travel. Spend time with people that are better of you and that like you actually like being around. Um, have experiences in life. Don't be stupid and mess around with broke people that can't do nothing for you, or be around guys that can't do nothing for you because they're too young, or they're too broke, or they're, narcissist, or they're just stupid, um, and they don't like you at all, so they're just going to use you for your money and whatever else. Don't be dumb. Have experiences that are beneficial to you and positive so that you can make dramas about them. Like, I know business, and every time I watch a business drama, I get angry because they don't understand business. They're just saying words like profit loss statement and IOP and SOP and KPI and what else? Uh, marketing this and sales that. They don't actually understand it. So I come at my dramas from a background of being like a contractor, working with state and local, like kind of agencies, corporate agencies, and things like that. Like, so I can put that specificity into my stuff. So like in Song of Wata, Niambe is talking about selling her hair, and she's giving her finding like the whole business plan pretty much, and she gives them the whole like, here's the people that are going to get the work done. Here's how much it's going to cost. All you gotta do is give them the hair. That's it. So like she gets it. That's the lived experience I have of having a business, having two brands, and understanding how that works, two businesses and three brands, and creating content and for other brands and other things like that. So yeah, that's kind of like the kind of stuff that I understand. Um, and if anything, if you create a drama, it's really good to see your growth. Again, we spend a lot of time on social media consuming, but we don't create enough. So we don't actually understand how far we've come in a year. Like, my level up this year alone was dramatic. Like, or last year was dramatic. Like, I did a lot of stuff in my day-to-day life, in real life. Like, I went out, I got dressed, as Audie Shearer says, get up, get dressed, get out there, get off them dating apps, did all that stuff. And my life got a lot better because I got to meet people face to face, and new people and different people, and have experiences, and go to car shows, and go to the golf course. And now I'm going to pickleball this year. And I went to like a dinner with Rotary. Like, I did all this stuff because I had positive experiences. And that's the other thing. We think that we have to create stuff out of trauma. Pardon me. You can create amazing stories and dramas out of positive experiences. It's actually better because it gives people something to aspire to. I think about uh, Studio Ghibli, they romanticize your normal life, just romanticizing sitting here drinking tea, or romanticizing getting dressed, or romanticizing like running your errands, or like going to your job. You can create stuff out of positive, and it's probably better, especially in the time that we're living in now. You will want to have a reason to get up out of the house and to go out into the world. You'll want to have a reason to explore and to say hi to somebody or to meet new people or to talk to a stranger. So if you spend more time out in the real world, then your dramas are better because then you got to learn about stuff and then you can make that into something where you can make that a part of the plot, part of the character, a part of the journey, a part of the figuring things out about survival, about how we're all the same. I'm quoting Brad McDonald about we're all the same with the golden theme from his book. What is it? It's called the golden theme. Um, so yeah, like those are like now I can write about golf and pickleball and dinners and auctions and galas and like I didn't go on a yacht last year. That's my goal to go on a yacht and take photos and stuff. But you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of cool stuff to experience in the world. And as creatives and artists, the type that I associate with and the type that I am, I emphasize more on pleasure, joy, and fun, and less on the negative stuff. You can definitely take the negative stuff that you've had and be an alchemist and make something new out of it, but you shouldn't be spending your life looking for bad stuff to happen to you because then you don't value you do not value yourself and you do not see worth in your life because you're always going to look for negative stuff and you want to be a victim. And that's where I think a lot of the artists and the authors that got big in the past because they lived such traumatic lives. And the people that consumed their stuff never did. They had the luxury. Reading was a luxury um, since forever. It was very much a luxury up until we had like the newspaper and then the radio and then the TV. It was a luxury. So the only thing that was interesting to people that could afford it was sorrow and struggle and terrible things because they didn't live that life. They were like experiencing it secondhand. They didn't live that life, but that's what sold to the people that could afford it. So that's why it was more of a starving artist mindset because people that were being paid to create fiction were people that were struggling. Nowadays, we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, and that is a gonna box. It's gonna keep you caged and boxed in and stuck because you think you have to be poor to be a best-selling, award-winning, national award-winning published author. You don't. I grew up middle class in the suburbs. Like my lifestyle is not of somebody that comes from a poor background or somebody that's broke. Um, I grew up in the suburbs in Chicago. Like I got pretty much everything I needed, and now as an adult, like I'm doing better for myself, and I'm in a good position to have more in my life and to do more and to experience the fun things and amazing things and meet new people and have a leveled up life. But it took me knowing that I deserved that, I deserved to win, I deserved to have a peaceful life, leveled up life, and that takes time. Everyone's on that journey, so that's why you shouldn't sensationalize or romanticize that part of your life because everybody deals with that, but nobody wants to read stuff from people like that anymore because then it makes it's clear that you're stuck and it's actually depressing and it's actually sad because we live in a country where anybody can do anything. People kill to come to this country. Like my father was an immigrant to this country, then became a citizen, and so he wanted to be here because the benefits of being here was beneficial to him. So you don't if you're like an American and you're not like a immigrant kid or like a first generation kid, then you don't appreciate the privilege that you have of being here because you have everything set up for you. And my father decided he wanted to be here, so he made sure that I had more than what he had growing up. And so I appreciate that kind of sacrifice. So when I tell you that you should really write about the positive stuff in your life, and you should write because people want to buy. Rich people want to buy that kind of stuff. Rich people already live a good life. They don't want to read about sappy shit. They want to read about fun stuff, peaceful stuff, interesting stuff, curious stuff, cultural stuff, exotic stuff. They want to read about people that have different life experiences. They want to read about people that are happy or having a good time or solving problems or have had crazy experiences and then they solved the problem and they did all this stuff. Yeah, everyone has like a sad time in their life and depressing times, but nobody wants to. People that have the money to buy your stuff don't want to read that kind of stuff. They don't want to read sad shit. They want to read overcoming, survival. They want to read, how you went from 0 to 100, how you became the best at this, how you became, the best at what you do, or how you grew to support whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff you have to focus on. That's the kind of stuff that sells. And people are like, oh, I just want to write, I've met authors that are like, oh, I'm just a trans man. I can't really make a living out of writing a novel. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? Of course you can. Like, you have to learn sales and marketing, and you have to learn um, your audience because you're not writing to every person, and you have to keep your specificity there. What are you talking about? And he was like convinced. He's like, oh, I'm just a young trans man. I was like, bro, get the fuck out of my face. Like I hate that kind of stuff. Like I only swear when I get upset. And I got so upset at this dude. I was like, brother, I can't help you. Obviously, you don't value yourself enough or think that what you have to say is good enough to share with others. So you're always going to have this block that you can't make money, which is a lie because you can. You have to learn sales, you have to learn marketing, and you have to be putting yourself in front of people so people want to read it. And also, if you're writing about your struggles or your depression or your trauma, nobody wants to read that. The only way somebody would want to read that is if you made the character the underdog and then you had like this come up story. Nobody else wants to read that kind of stuff. And I'm a professional. I'm in the industry. I'm indie published. I've been published with Dark Horse Comics. I've won America's Next Great Author semi-finalist. I've been mentored by Nickelodeon, Netflix, Disney um, artists, and I've been in the room with New York Times bestsellers. Nobody wants to read that shit. If he had said, I have this really cool story about this trans male character that like becomes, I don't know, like the best, I don't know, chef or something. Okay, great. What's the problem? Whatever the thing is, that sounds way more interesting than whatever the hell he was telling me. And I have zero tolerance. Like, I don't care. I don't care who you are. I will tell you that, like, stop making excuses and nobody cares. And that was the thing. And I could tell, like, he was like that person that, I don't know, maybe he was going through some stuff because I could tell. And I was a lot nicer. But generally, I'm just like, I don't. Nobody cares about your problems. Nobody cares. That's sorry, but nobody cares. Like, get professional help and then come back out the world, bro, because nobody cares about your problems. But I don't know if he's still writing or not. But like, I don't know. Um, it's definitely something where if you're gonna write about your sappy life, you got to make it entertaining. You got to make it worth the time. And you got to make it something where somebody can learn something, whether it's survival, whether it's what not to do, whether it's what to do, whether it's how you got through it, or whether if it's just like a general thing where it's like, okay, this is how I cook this dish and you can do it too. Like, whatever it might be. All that stuff matters. And I work with all types of people, all types of backgrounds, man. Like, people want dramas, man. Because some people don't have the courage in their real life to live a real life, to be a main character of their own life, so they vicariously read stuff or they experience stuff. So wouldn't it be cool to know that you lived an interesting life and you're able to make fiction out of that and aspects of it. I think that's cool. Like, I think that's amazing. I think that's such an amazing ability to take that and you make money from it, bro. Sign me up. I get paid to make stories, to make new things, and to create stuff that people can actually use and get entertained by and find some value in. And so, yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons why I like reading dramas, because if you're familiar with like Bollywood or like Pakistani or any kind of like Asian style drama, we basically have the exact same plot. We could tell it to you like 100,000 different ways because we changed the character dynamics, the character archetypes, we change the scenario, we change the settings, we change the problem, and we change the solution. And like when I tell you that Song of Wata is like the first of the many type of dramas that I'm gonna write, they're very much either similar or have a kind of similar thing. Like I take no shame in that at all. Like that is just what it's about. Even with telenovas, with other stuff like that, bro, it's all the same. You know how much money is in dramas? Let's do the math on that. How much money is in dramas? Money in dramas are wildly from actors earning low wages and nothing. 1 million per episode. For actors or producers, for K dramas, it's 1 million to 10 million. For high budgets, it can reach 30 million or more. Big names, production values, the market. Chinese and Korean dramas pay a lot. Streaming platforms. There's a magic spectrum from modest earnings. Producers. Okay, so like 17K to 50K per episode. 30K. The show's budget. And like I've watched dramas where the budget is non-existent and it still made a ton of money back. So I'm just trying to say there's money out there. If you can tell a story and you can give somebody hope and that's what it's all about. People want hope. And if I can tell you nothing else to create jobs, people want hope. People want to know that things can get better. People want to know that even if her experience isn't what the character is experiencing, that she can get through whatever she's experiencing. That's literally it. So whether you have a $50,000 budget or a $10 million budget, none of that matters. Because if you can't tell a good story, then you've literally lost everything, and that profit loss statement's gonna look real bad. You're gonna be in the red once you get all that money back. And the other thing you have to do also when it comes to creating dramas is always learn. Be learning. Even read stuff that's so old that out of print. You have to get so good at what you do that it's inevitable that you will become, you know, and you might have a different goal. I watched a YouTuber yesterday and he talked about how he made a game on Steam that paid off his student loans. He didn't go viral, he just followed a simple formula. I was like, sounds good to me, I'm gonna use that. Like, I'm not even making a game right now, but I liked his format. I liked how he's like outreach, demoing, blah blah blah. I like that, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna utilize what's beneficial to me and leave the rest behind. You have to become obsessed with what you're doing so that you can become good at it. You don't have to be a best-selling, nationally award-winning, published, author artist. You don't have to do that. You just be like, I made this cool game and I got to share it with my friends. That's fine. Whatever your goal is, it's fine. You have to take the time to learn and understand so people want what you have to offer. That's like the key thing that differentiates something marketable and something that flops is understanding why something works, why it's interesting, and how you can distill that into your own drama. Okay, I'll have to get going. I don't see any questions in my chat. thus far. I will chat on LinkedIn sometimes with the LinkedIn. And like I said, okay, nothing there. Am I on Twitch? No, I'm on Facebook. Okay. I was like, am I on Twitch again? I don't, sometimes Twitch really bugs me with like how the VODs work. Yeah, I stopped streaming on Twitch a little bit because like the VODs disappeared and I realized like Amazon won't hold on to it or something. Like I have to put, but I stream on YouTube anyway, so it's kind of like it's just to see, it's just an experiment if people are on there, what watching me or not. I don't think they are. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, when it comes to what I do, I'm like I said before, like I made my purpose in creating dramas. In Like people are like, oh, you should just stick to comics. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Or people are like, oh, you should stick to writing prose. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Or oh, you should stick to writing film. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Dramas covers is a genre, and it covers an entire thing of media, even interactive media. So just a thought there, just a thought. Um, so make a story that has hope with it. Add your specificity to it and learn, study, learn. If you don't know how to write, grab stuff out of the public domain. If you don't know how to draw or create characters, use asset packs. And if you don't know how to edit, hire someone or use AI to help you edit. And if you don't know how to use VFX, asset packs, hire someone and use AI. And if you don't know how to put some visual effects, asset packs, hire someone, AI. And no matter how much AI you use, it will always amplify your weaknesses because it gives you strength, but it amplifies your weaknesses. So get good by practicing a lot, understanding that it's going to take you a lot longer to get good at something than you thought. It's going to take more time, effort, and practice, but still post anyway and be open to feedback and criticism because that's what professionals do. And if you are a professional, then you already know this. But if you're a beginner and you're watching my videos, then you have to learn to be good at that because that is how you can make something marketable, how you can make something that people actually want to buy, and that gives somebody a transformation. Whether that's, again, remittances in your life, overcoming a problem, finding a solution, making somebody feel comforted, making somebody look at the world a different way, or accepting something about the world that they were not um, able to accept before. That's all transformation. So I'm gonna head out now, but again, if you're just joining me at the end, I'm Nakia Shade, and I'm a nationally award-winning author. As an America's Next Author semi-finalist 2022, I'm a Dark Horse Comics published author and storyboard artist, character designer, preliminary cover designer, artist, and indie published author, artist, creator of Song of Wata, where I voice, write, and illustrate the characters. And my original soundtrack or the original music is by Tanya Marie Edwards, Luna Goldfish. So check her out. And this is thank you for listening. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube as well, and LinkedIn. And you can go to nakiashade.com to get this month's freebie and join my newsletter for Nakia Shade Masala fiction dramas. And what else? Oh, um, write for people for who they are on the inside. People want to be seen for who they are on the inside, not how they are on the outside. You can't control what you look like on the inside. I think now people have like, you know, different means to control how they are on the outside, but it never changes who you are on the inside unless you level up. unless you grow and change on the inside first. That's the only way the outside's going to make sense for you. So, right, to who people are on the inside, who people are wishing people saw them as, and how people wish society saw them as, or how they wish that they saw themselves as, like in their realist way. That kind of shit shits people. So, yeah. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next one. May Parveen be your guiding star. If you didn't know, my AI is up on my Instagram called Parveen. So you could interact with her and you can ask her questions about Song of Wata because I'm pretty sure she knows about Song of Wata. And you can ask her questions about like the drama. You can ask her questions about me as the author. And yeah. All right. I'm gonna head off. Yeah. All right. May Parveen be your guiding star. Right, talk to you guys again soon.